Either way, the dude was married, and he's the head football coach on campus.
Oh no,
he's not supposed to be messing with the girls
we're with
on
you
this
there.
campus.
But there's a difference in scumbag move and jail
there's
time.
a difference.
Yep.
BGZ, what it do?
What up?
You rocking the Texans hat for Mark Ingram signing today?
This is for Deshaun Watson.
Another stellar signing by the Texans. They already just gave David Johnson money. They turn around and give some money now to Mark Ingram.
They gave David Johnson money? I thought he was out of there.
I believe I think they re-upped him. You want to fact check that for me there, Enrique? I think they re-upped him. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact they gave that.
Pull it up, stat boy.
Pull it up.
Wait, what are we talking about? I'm sorry.
David Johnson, Houston Texans. While Enrique's pulling that up, welcome back, folks. Crackbacks, your boy Big Pedro. Ricky Leakey's up top with me, down below the digital Wookie BG. Boys, how we doing?
We got news, guys. We got big news.
Ready to go, baby.
Yes, things are happening. Things are happening. We jump right into the big one while Enrique is looking for the David Johnson signing. Somebody got paid.
Breaking news.
Got paid. Dak Prescott. Is he the highest paid player in the NFL at the present second, or is it most guaranteed money?
Mahomes.
No, he has the most guaranteed money.
He's got
the most guaranteed money.
He's got the most guaranteed.
He's making the most cash out of anybody.
Mahomes is making $45 million a year. Dak coming in number 2 at 40.
But he is making 75 the first year.
Cash. Yeah, he's taking more cash this year than anybody else.
He's got the biggest guarantee in NFL history.
That's insane.
Dak Prescott.
Absolutely. All it is good timing, dude. That's all it is. Because he's the guy right now. Like
0 playoff wins.
4 or 5 years ago, we were all up in arms. Oh my God, the Colts gave $75 million to Andrew Luck. $75 million. It's just that's all it is. The contract's going to get bigger with TV. More money is coming into the league. Dak just had good timing. He was there at the right time.
Yeah, the timing is the key. He got lucky because Jerry Jones is about to die and wants to get that Super Bowl in before he dies.
He ain't getting it with Dak. Not giving him that kind of money. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean Dallas is happy because even though it's a $75 million payday or pay year for him, I should say, the cap hit is only $22 million. So Cowboys Nation is thinking Super Bowl.
Is that why the guaranteed money and the signing bonus is that big? Because you can spread it over the whole contract. Is that why the cap hit is so low? Yeah,
they're good. So basically, 3 years down the line, the cap is going to be almost like $50 million.
So it's like getting an adjustable rate mortgage on a house. You're paying like $900 for the first year, first couple years. You're doing good. Everybody's happy. Then that bill changes year 3. You got $4,500 freaking mortgage payment. That's going to come back and bite the Cowboys in the ass.
And then call me for the refi. Yeah. It's already been proven. I mean, these teams that give this ridiculous money to the quarterbacks, just look at today. Patrick Mahomes lost both of his Pro Bowl tackles today. Why? Because Mahomes is getting paid $45 million.
Yep.
You can't afford to pay the rest of the team when your quarterback's making $500 million.
But who's the guy that keeps taking pay cuts and keeps winning Super Bowls? Exactly. Now, in Brady's defense, Brady married for money, so he doesn't have to get a lot on his contract. He's not even the breadwinner in his own house. So Brady can take cuts on there that maybe other guys can't take on their
out of here, man,
on their overall contract. But you're 100% correct. That huge amount of money for Dak Prescott is that's going to hamper them going down the line, 100%.
So in 2023, his cap hit's going to be $44 million. 2024, $47 million.
And I know they're they're short.
Stat Boy's on it.
They're saying the cap's going to go up, and that's your Cowboy fans are arguing with that. Whoa, it only looks big right now. It only looks big right now. America's team, please. They are 29.
Get out of here, man.
29 teams in the NFL have more playoff wins in the 2000s than the Cowboys do. They haven't been America's team since America started having cable.
And dude, I mean, the Chiefs just went to back-to-back Super Bowls and had to release their 2 starting offensive tackles. The Seahawks. Sorry, my work phone is ringing here.
The Seahawks they made the Legion of Doom or Legion of Boom. I'm sorry. They could afford to pay all those guys because they had Russell Wilson on a rookie contract.
And then as soon as they paid Russell Wilson, boom,
everybody's gone.
Sucks. No offensive line. Now he wants to leave.
Yep.
This is what happens when you pay the quarterback $500 million. Yeah, it's great to make headlines and everything. And I saw something the other day that kind of set off some alarms for me. Jerry Jones, all the guys on his team who he signed to big contracts, Amari Cooper, DeMarcus Lawrence. There was a couple other ones. I think Tyron Smith. Every time they got signed to a big contract, and now Dak Prescott, largest contract ever for that position.
Wasn't Zeke on that list too?
Yeah, Zeke was another one. So Jerry Jones is just trying to make headlines.
And all of them, including Zeke, had a drop-off in performance the next year after they got paid big.
Yep.
So Jerry Jones is one of those guys that shouldn't be running a team. Be an owner, sit down in the box, enjoy being a rich dude, and pay somebody that knows what they're doing to run your football team because he doesn't know what he's doing, and his son's even dumber than he is.
Well, the kid would actually be a decent GM. The kid made some good decisions. He's the one that convinced them. Yeah. He's the one that convinced them to take Zach Martin instead of fucking Johnny Manziel, because Jerry Jones wanted to take Johnny Manziel to run the
bit
team.
Of a no-brainer on that one. That's an easy choice.
That would have been the ultimate Jerry Jones move.
Yeah, but he's been drafting some good players. I mean, their last few drafts, they got a lot of good players from it. They got some good cheap talent.
And that's the kid doing that. That's Stephen Jones. That's not Jerry Jones digging through the list.
Even the Lyle Collins signing, that's Stephen Jones. That was a good pickup.
Jerry Jones still has the final say, and the Cowboys won't be America's team or even Texas's team. Actually, they'll be Texas's team because Houston has the worst front office ever. But they're not going to be America's team again until Jerry's out of there. It's the same thing. I'm wearing a Knicks shirt right now, and our owner holds us back. The Knicks aren't going to get to where they need to until James Dolan either decides to sell the team, leave the earth, or something else. The Cowboys are in the same boat. Until Jerry decides to relinquish power, they're going to be exactly what they are right now.
You got to put James Dolan on a SpaceX.
Dude.
The ones that go like a mile up and then crash.
Exactly. Yo, did you see the other day? They had one. It actually landed, right? It landed. It was good to go. And then like 3 seconds later, boom, it burst into flames. You had the hard part done. Bro. You're already down on the ground. Man. How the hell are you exploding now?
People don't give NASA enough credit, bro. We were putting motherfuckers in the moon and bringing them back. We just got shit to Mars. And now these guys are thinking they could do it on the cheap. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm on a budget. I can make a flamethrower so I can shoot rockets into space. Nah.
This is totally off the cuff, but it's not sports related. But they said that we're 5 years away from there being an actual either a hotel on the moon or a hotel that's like the International Space Station where you'd actually be floating in orbit. You already said it, gets you're down. You're in for it then right away.
I'm in. The budget is tight though. I got to do like the Airbnb on the moon. Whoever's living up there got an extra room, I'm in. Give me like a week.
That's a 6-month trip to go for like a weekend, right?
Moon? They can get to the moon in 3 days.
They get to the moon pretty quick. It's the one that takes 6 months.
Oh no, I'm thinking Mars.
You're thinking Mars. And Mars is
like
trip.
5-6 years, not 6 months.
One-way trip. You're not coming back from Mars. You can go hang out on the moon for a couple days, come back and catch a Knick game on TV or whatever. You're not getting to Mars and coming back anytime soon.
Because the problem with going to Mars is they say it takes so long to get out there, and then once you get out there and you adjust to Mars gravity, and then by the time you would be able to get back, that like your skeletal system and your organs wouldn't be able to function on Earth anymore. And that's why go back to James Cameron in like 1986 when they made Aliens. They had the people in the fucking I don't even know what you call it in the life preserver.
No, the compression capsules or whatever you call it. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're talking about. That's also what they sent Kal-El to Earth in, is one of those pressure pod things. So yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm down for it too. I would do the little International Space Station thing. I mean, once they get it down where they're not exploding on landing. But yeah, I would go to the moon. Mars is completely out of the question. I want nothing to do with going that far away. That's just ridiculous. And I watched the movie. It was not fun. Matt Damon didn't have a good time out there at all.
He did not.
The other thing about that,
you're going to like a colonized Mars. You're not going to Matt Damon's Mars. You're going to a Mars that already has a hotel.
Yeah, those are only the first people on Mars that have to deal with that stuff, Joel.
Yeah,
man, I'm old, man. By the time they get that shit down,
by the time they get the peasants out there, we're gonna have a full like hotel and shit.
All right, I'm down with that. But
you're not going to be out there having to fucking grow basil and shit
with your own shit. He was actually making manure with his own shit. Matt Damon, Matt Damon, underrated actor. Matt Damon gives some quality flicks out there. All right, but anyway, I cut you off to talk about Space Gets. It's on you.
With Dak, another thing that I keep seeing, they keep showing all these stats that he had last year before the ankle went sideways, and that's another thing we didn't even talk about is that Mahomes on a restructured ankle that was pointing to the other sideline when we last saw him. And they just gave him the biggest signing bonus in history.
No, I saw a little press conference with him about it the other day, and it really was just a break. Like none of the he didn't have ligament damage, all it was bone. So he should be fine. The only reason Alex Smith is really fucked up, I don't know if you watched I think it was an E60, not a 30 for 30. The leg was fine. The repair on the bone was fine. Everything was good. And then he got flesh-eating bacteria, and now his leg looks like
tasty.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now his leg looks like Swamp Thing. So apparently Dak's going to have 100% recovery. He's going to be fine.
Oh yeah, Dak will be fine. You don't need an ankle.
That's the hater. That's the hater Eagle fan not wanting the Dallas Cowboy quarterback healthy.
Even before he got hurt, people are talking about like all the yards that he put up, and he had 10 touchdowns in 4 games or whatever it was. They were getting their ass beat in every game. You watch the Falcons-Cowboys game, they were getting destroyed in the first half. That's the only reason he put up those numbers. We all play fantasy football. Every once in a while, you take a quarterback on a sorry team because you know they're going to be getting waxed, and dude's going to put up a ton of yards in the second half.
It's the only reason Matt Stafford ever got drafted.
It's not like he was carving up the league to an undefeated record when his ankle got broke.
And let's be honest now, if the Cowboys are one of the easier teams to play quarterback on in the NFL. Granted, the line is not what it was a couple of years ago, but they were
all hurt last year, though.
Exactly, but you got 3 top flight receivers. You have which was at least one time people were arguing was the best running back in the game. Yeah, you had questionable coaches on the sideline, but as far as personnel goes, Dak's got it easier than a lot of quarterbacks out there to put up those numbers. And
the receivers are dope.
Exactly, and the fact that they were either getting waxed or in a dogfight. They were never in the lead for any game before Dak broke his ankle. They were either right in a dogfight where they had to keep throwing the ball, or they were, like you said, they were getting beat by 17, 21 points in the third quarter, and the ball's got to be in the air at that point. Defenses soften the prevent bullshit, and they always come back. And the team, you look at it, guys got 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks.
And if he was really worth all that money, why did they have to franchise tag him for like 2-3 years? Why didn't they pay him 2-3 years ago?
Well, apparently, Bomani Jones was talking about that yesterday. He was trying to get them to give him a shorter contract because the other collective bargaining agreement is going to be coming up, and he thinks he can get them not for 1 bag. He already got him for 1 bag here. I'm gonna get you for another bag in 3 years. And they wanted. That's why they franchised him a couple of years. Now he's in there for 4. They got him at an area of time that they're happy with. He was trying to squeeze them to try to get that to do the Carmelo Anthony where you get the double dip. You remember he took his extension earlier than LeBron and Wade, so he would get paid again faster.
How old is Dak? 26, 27?
Something like that, yeah. He's got 2 more contracts in him. Quarterback, you get contract 36, 37. They just paid fucking Phillip Rivers a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
If he's good. If he's good, that's the question.
But to be honest, is Phillip Rivers, Dak, are they that much different?
Yeah, and if you look at it, I think they said in the last 5 years, the quarterback has actually earned the most cash is Kirk Cousins because he got tagged twice. So even though he didn't get long-term security, he didn't get hurt. So he was getting cash, $35 million cash every year.
Yeah.
And then his contract in Minnesota is fully guaranteed.
Straight stealing. That's what fucking Kirk Cousins is doing.
$80 million.
Stealing. Yeah, straight stealing. That's just crazy.
I really don't understand Kirk Cousins because as an Eagles fan, I had to watch him in the division. And when Kirk Cousins was on the Redskins, he was nice. He was dealing. He was accurate. I mean, he wasn't like winning the division. He wasn't that type of quarterback, but he was the type of dude where you go into the game and like he could carve you up and he could win the game.
But he seems to be a guy that needs to play angry because he had his big games with the "you like that," when he was all fired up. So when he goes into Minnesota, you're expected to win now. And
you like that?
Exactly. People aren't talking shit about you anymore. Maybe he needs that, like, I don't know, what was it, in the program, people spitting in your face and slapping you. Maybe he needs that before a game to get him going because Kirk Cousins has been weak.
I think that was Pornhub. That's Pornhub you're talking about, Joe.
No, dude, there's in the beginning of the program, they're spitting
people
at each other.
Spitting on you and slapping you in the face.
They're spitting at each other in the locker room. Watch the movie again. I'm not into that spitting shit, by the way, just as a side note. That's just gross.
Okay, I'm glad you clarified that for us.
That's for the kids that are out there watching. Now, we're talking about people getting paid. There's also some people that aren't getting some paychecks anymore, and some people that got cut that are actually going to be on other teams contributing right away. You mentioned two of them right off the bat, the two tackles that just played in, well, one of them played in the Super Bowl, the other one was hurt, but 2 years ago.
Well, those guys are both hurt, so they're not going to be contributing right away.
But both of them are hurt? I thought it was just Fisher that had the serious.
Schwartz
will play next year.
Fucked up.
But Schwartz will still play next year.
So he didn't play.
But Schwartz will still play this year. Where
you never know. You never know.
Fisher had the Achilles.
He's got a shot to play. Fisher's done for whatever. He's collecting insurance checks.
He's got at least a year, but the Eagles had Jason Peters, man. He tried to come back from the Achilles, was never the same.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
It's just the cutthroat world of the NFL, man. You're hurt. You're hurt. You got a $12 million cap hit. You're gone.
When did Peters hurt?
Doesn't matter if you're all pro.
When did Peters hurt his Achilles?
A couple years ago, 2-3 years ago.
It was more recent. Okay, because whatever
he fucked it up twice.
Okay, all right, that makes it different because the procedure that Durant and Wall, same surgeon did their Achilles, and both of them look pretty healthy. I mean, they're taking Durant kind of slow, and Wall looks just as fast as he was before. The Achilles, doesn't seem to be the death sentence.
Offensive line is a different kind of animal than like Durant. He's kind of running around. He can decide how much pressure he wants to put on the ankle and what leg he wants to explode on. Yeah, and as an offensive lineman, you're absorbing someone else's power, trying to push them back, and then trying to drive. You're constantly pushing off that Achilles.
The amount of weight that's on there when you consider the player's weight himself and the defender that he's actually blocking. You're right. It's a lot more stress on there. But Wall puts a lot of stress, with his speed and jump. I think that the Achilles may not be the death sentence that it was even just a couple of years ago.
I mean, they're definitely getting better. It used to be like, I remember when Marino blew his, they were like, he's never coming back. Like he couldn't even jog. He was slow to begin with, and after that, he couldn't run at all.
And the funny thing is, if you go all the way back to his days at Pittsburgh, he was kind of athletic in college. Couldn't move.
Well, that's because he was on the booger sugar the whole time.
You got a little extra jolt of energy. But now
there was a reason he dropped in the draft process.
100%. Now, both of you guys need receivers. Now, you said you didn't want to draft one of them high. I mean, you got Mims, you drafted Rager, you had Fulgham, you guys in there. But Emmanuel Sanders got cut by the Saints today. That's a professional wide receiver. I'll tell you one thing before I ask you if either one of you wants him on the team. Joe Horn came to the Falcons the year after Vic went to prison. And he's the only reason that Roddy White became an all-pro at wide receiver. He actually taught the young guy how to be a professional. Benny Sanders could help a Mims, could help a Fulgham, could help a Rager. Would you take Emmanuel Sanders on your squad?
It all depends what the price is. The Eagles have no money, so we can't really, go out and get anybody. But of course, every single free agent that comes up on the Eagles page, we need to go get this guy. Yeah. But we're like $40 million over the cap.
Yeah,
we're one of the teams. We're one of the teams that's going to have to start cutting people eventually.
The Jets can afford him, though. You want Manny?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we already have a vet in Jamison Crowder, so I mean, it's not like we need vet help.
But you want a vet that's good. Jamison Crowder. I don't even pull out no Jamison Crowder. Talking about we got a vet. I give you a heart.
Shout out to the Jameson.
I gave you a heartwarming story about Joe Horn teaching Roddy White how to be a professional, and you break out Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's better off being the win now team where he can be that second wide receiver to help out, kind of like the Saints, maybe like in Green Bay or something. I don't know. I just don't think he's not fit for a rebuild.
That's a good spot for him. Green Bay's good.
Green Bay actually would be a good spot for him.
He's played in Denver. He's played in the cold weather. He can go up there and play in the tundra.
Started in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not worried about.
But Green Bay doesn't like helping Aaron Rodgers, so they don't like giving him weapons and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Why give him another receiver?
And
they draft another quarterback.
And they didn't franchise Aaron Jones. So Jones,
I wouldn't franchise him either, but I was
nobody wants him.
Yeah, he had a really good year last year, though, and fixed that offense pretty well. You would think they would,
You ask the Finsiders down here; they're very hot on Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones? Come on.
Oh yeah, they're all about it. They think he's going to take Tua to the next level.
Yeah,
okay.
A subpar running back is going to take a tiny quarterback to the next level. I'm not feeling it at all. But same thing, dude. The Falcons are like, I believe, $25 million over the cap. Like everyone's begging Matt Ryan and Julio Jones to give back some money so we could sign somebody. But every friggin' free agent that comes up, JJ Watt gonna look good in red, white, and black.
Should we go get him? What do you think, guys?
Like we have any money whatsoever. And to be honest with you, I didn't want JJ Watt. JJ Watt's played 15 games total over the last 3 seasons. He's not what he was when he was the best defensive player in the league.
Arizona situational pass rushers.
And they paid him. They paid a lot of money for a situational pass rusher. Now, I will say on third down, when you have Chandler Jones coming off of one side and J.J. Watt, a fresh J.J. Watt, because he's only playing 25 snaps a game, coming off the other side, that is a pretty formidable, as long as he stays on the field. But I don't see.
Yeah, they're gonna need Kyler Murray in the offense to score a lot, so they can be in position to get the pass rush going late in the game. So.
And I don't think they really have the type of D-line depth to just be like, okay, J.J. Watt, you're just going to be a situational third down pass rusher, or we'll save you for the fourth quarter. They're going to need him to be a full-time starter.
If he's playing significant snaps at the beginning of the season, by Thanksgiving he's on IR. There's no way. He can't. His body can't take anymore. He's held together by silly putty, man. He needed to take the 2 years off like Gronk did, and then come back and maybe go after the bowl one more time after that.
The decent one that's out there that's available, just got cut, is Carlos Dunlap.
Yeah, stupid. The Seahawks just traded for him too. I didn't get that at all. And
because they have no money. They had to give Russell Wilson a huge contract. Now they have no money, and now Russell Wilson is complaining that he wants to leave. If I was Pete Carroll, I'd be like, we're paying you. That's why you have no offensive line.
Well, that's why they didn't pay Dunlap. They're trying to get some line for him. Go ahead, PK.
Yeah, they got to pay Blitz Boy $20 million a year.
The Jamal Adams hate was going to happen at some point. At some point or another, Jamal Adams hate was going to come out. Hey,
it's true though.
The safety
so biased. He's a good player.
The safety you did keep, I was hoping you would have let go, because we didn't keep Keanu Neal, and if we actually do restructure Matt Ryan, Marcus May would have looked nice in the defensive backfield in Atlanta. But
May as a free safety was way better than Jamal Adams ever was, but actually playing the pass.
I wish we had some
way higher.
I wish we had some money though. Dunlap would fit what Atlanta needs. We just don't have any money to pay him.
Dunlap's going to be great for a team that's contending.
Somebody will sign him immediately. But the cap was 15 million less than what they were expecting it to be because of
that's really weird. Like that, I've never seen the NFL cap go down.
Oh, no ticket sales.
Yeah, they lost a lot of money. They did over 200. Like I think I saw 200 billion in an article I read.
I thought the NFL was all about the TV contract.
Well, yes and no, but the cap is based off of revenue. And even though the significant amount of it does come
on top of the fact that
contracts.
We all pay money for fucking NFL Sunday ticket, so they should be able to pay these guys.
Yeah, I agree.
If the owners are, but you know how the owners are. If they're going to take a loss, so is everybody else. That's just how it is.
Salary caps are ridiculous to begin with, and I'm only complaining because, again, I am wearing a Knicks shirt right now. And if there was no salary cap in the NBA, the Knicks would have more than the 0 championships in my lifetime that we have. We'd be the fucking Yankees in the NBA if the NBA had no salary cap. So
yeah, and
fuck salary cap.
Baseball's proof that a salary cap does not guarantee no parity, because the NFL has the hardest cap, and the the same teams were winning all the time for like the last 20 years. There hasn't been a repeat winner in baseball in the last 20 years, and there's no salary cap in baseball.
I'm down for no caps. This is America. We shouldn't have restrictions. We shouldn't have restrictions on what teams are paying their players. I need the Knicks to be able to pay free agents whatever the hell they want to pay a free agent.
I agree, man. If you think a guy's worth something, you got to pay him. And the market dictates you pay the next guy. I'm with it.
Well, speaking of the Knicks, exactly 1 year ago today is the day that the NBA shut down. So we're 365 days from the last NBA game being played before they came back in the bubble, and the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Miami Heat in the Mickey Mouse Finals. But yeah, it's been this is the anniversary of COVID fucking up the NBA season last year. So they're getting back to normal for the most part. I mean, we had the All-Star game over the weekend. Actually, did you watch it? All-Star game was actually kind of entertaining.
It was all right. It was all right. Why did they do it like, okay, this team wins the first quarter, that team wins the second quarter, and then like they didn't even have a fourth quarter.
So they start they do have a fourth quarter, and they go to the total of the game at that point. So they did this in Summer League a couple of years ago, and it's for charity. So each quarter counts for something, and then the total of the game, instead of just having a fourth quarter, it's the entire game score at the end. So it was entertaining because it really was a blowout as far as a total score was.
So they're playing for a different charity each quarter?
Correct.
Well, like basically Team Durant, and Team LeBron each have a charity that they want to give to. Whoever wins that quarter, the money goes to that charity.
It pays to that charity, yeah. And then whoever wins the game,
like an HBCU school or whatever.
It was $100,000 for each quarter, and then $300,000 for the entire game. So granted, the NBA should be able to pony up more money than that. That's a side question, but as far as watching,
for real, $100,000, they make that in like a day.
Seriously, but as far as a fan, kind of watching the All-Star games, all suck. Baseball All-Star games used to be good back in the day, back in the 90s and 3, when guys cared about it more. And then they did a stupid shit where whoever wins it gets to host the World Series. Completely dumb. The Pro Bowl should be disbanded. They should never play the Pro Bowl. Even hockey, they do the skills competition because no one wants to get hurt in an All-Star game, and you can't play a collision sport.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. The NFL, like the Pro Bowl, they don't want to tackle, they don't want to hit, and
the same thing with hockey. Yeah,
like to get hurt in a fucking All-Star game would be stupid.
Completely
especially
stupid.
Guys that are making millions of dollars.
Completely stupid.
I actually don't like the format of like the Team LeBron, Team Durant, where they draft their team. Like I'm old school, man. It's got to be East-West. And those stupid ass uniforms, bro, it's a fucking All-Star game. I want to see my team and my dudes in their All-Star uniforms. Now, the Philly guys had the COVID, so they didn't play. But still, I'm watching the All-Star game, and like, if I'm looking at it from across the room, I don't even know who's who because of those stupid ass uniforms.
But let me give you another. I'm going to crack back on the NBA right now, too. The NBA, billion-dollar company. They pay their athletes some of the highest salaries of any sport, any league around the entire globe. Those were the Indiana All-Star jerseys. They were supposed to have this All-Star game in Indiana. They canceled it in Indiana and moved it to Atlanta because Turner Sports is in Atlanta, and they can get all of the, all the equipment they needed in there to get it, shot correctly without minimal COVID interaction, all of that. But those were the a bastardization of the old Reggie Miller, like 1990 Pacers uniforms with the line across the middle. But yeah, you have enough money, NBA, to have 24 jerseys printed in a couple of days. Throw a friggin' hawk on it. Put Dominique Wilkins' face in the middle of it. Put a peach on there. Do something. That was just ridiculous.
Just let them wear their team jerseys and put a fucking All-Star patch on there.
They did that a couple of years. They'll have the patch on it. One team wears the home whites. The other team wears the road colors. I don't mind the All-Star jerseys. Just don't put a shitty one out. Graphic artists have been sitting in their house for a year with nothing to do. You can get a better fucking jersey than that. So I'm cracking back on the NBA. Be better.
And the interesting part, too, about the game, at least for me, is watching it. To me, it's more exciting to see, like, Curry and Dame pull up from half court than that little BS 16 for 16 lucky performance that won MVP.
Oh, we're going to chat about him in a second there. But, yeah, you're 100% right. The deep threes and adding the extra spot with the deeper three on the three-point shootout, which was the most entertaining part of the entire.
Yeah, that dunk contest was terrible.
Dunk contest
they should do a
terrible.
4-point contest for the game. They should do a 4-point line for the game. That would be sick.
Yeah,
they should do it. They should do it right. They should do it right in the corners, out by the half court line. Is if you hit from that corner, it's like 4 points.
You know who has that, right? Ice Cube's Big Three.
Big Three, I think it's Big Three. Yeah,
Ice Cube, trendsetter.
I mean, Curry and Dame will definitely be hitting it. They'll at least be shooting it.
It's not a bad shot for either one of them. That's a high percentage shot for either one. The problem is Jaylen Brown taking 35-foot shots, and I'm only picking on him because he missed the deep three. And then Lillard goes, dude, what the fuck you doing? He goes, my bad, man. I thought I was you for a second. So Jaylen, they understand, but there's only a few guys that can hit from that far. Trae Young wasn't in the All-Star game, but he can't shoot from that far out. Who can't shoot from that far out? Enrique alluded to him a couple of seconds ago. The Greek Freak, 14 for 14. He hit 2 threes that he banked in both of them. He didn't call bank on either one of them, and everything else was a dunk. He was so happy to win that MVP in the All-Star game because he knows that he's never winning an NBA championship unless
I can't wait till this guy signs with the Knicks.
Rep. He ain't saying it. He already said he's not coming to New York. I don't like New York. I not come to New York. Fuck you, Giannis. We don't want you in New York anyway. Well, ballers in New York. Once a Knick, always a Knick, unless you're Giannis. Actually, his brother was a Knick, and we don't want him back either.
But as much as you rip on this guy, if he ever signed with the Knicks, you would think he was the greatest player ever.
Well, listen about it.
He wasn't developed in Milwaukee. Now we got him in New York, and now his game is different.
I'm not so sure about that, man. I never defended Eddie Curry. I rip friggin'.
Come on, man. Come on.
I ripped Stevie franchise from the beginning.
He was going to be 28 by the time he's a free agent. He wasn't developed in Milwaukee.
He's going to be like 36 years old on the Knicks, and Joel's going to be like, now's the time for Giannis. I've been telling you guys all along.
We're playing him tonight too. Fuck that guy. I hope he rolls his ankle in 5 minutes. They're about to tip off with the Knicks and the Bucks right now. No, I hate his game.
But even during the All-Star game, they were making a big deal out of like his shooting percentage is like, oh, he hasn't missed a shot. He was only dunking the ball. It's not like he was sitting at the 3-point line banging them.
And there's no defense until the fourth quarter in any NBA All-Star game anyway. People are throwing.
And he's like fucking 7'8". The guys he was getting rebounds on are like 6'2". Come on, man.
He was so happy he won that freaking MVP.
I think a quick fix for the dunk contest. I don't know if contractually that'll happen, but since they let fans vote for the All-Star game, let fans vote for the dunk contest participants and make these fucking guys do it.
Agreed. 100%.
I think it would be exciting if we actually get the
let
best
fans vote on the fucking scores because there's some straight haters on the scores.
Oh yeah,
I know I was just ripping on the Knicks, but I will say your boy should have won the dunk contest. That stupid ass dunk where the dude went up and acted like he was gonna kiss the rim and then backed away from it. Like, nah, bro.
It's been branded.
You can't get a 10 if you don't even do what you were trying to do on the dunk. You went up to kiss the rim, but you did not kiss the rim. That's not a 10.
No, it's been branded the Mr. Rim dunk. He's terrible. That was terrible. He was a foot away. If people were trying to say, "Oh, he turned his head at the last second," he
pulled his head away like he hit the fucking rim.
He was a foot away from it. Now I will say
there's slow motion replays all over the arena.
Nowhere close to it.
They're gonna catch the fact that you didn't touch the rim. So him like pulling his head away from it, like he hit his face on the rim, was super gay.
Now, Obi did leave the window open a little bit. That last dunk of his was a little lackluster. It's something we've seen 1,000 times. So, granted, he did it from further out, but
we've seen all these dunks 1,000 times. That's why they need to get rid of the dunk contest.
The last two like dunks that you could say you saw the first time was Aaron Gordon when he went under both legs. I hadn't seen that. He got robbed as well.
That's pretty crazy
in the dunk contest. And when Vince put his arm all the way,
Mm-hmm.
When Vince that's still to this day the best dunk contest performance of all time. Vince, he did the under the
whoa.
Vince Carter.
Jordan versus Dominique.
Vince Carter would beat both of them.
Vince Carter was the best of all time.
As far
Jordan
as
and
dunking,
Dominique had to go against each other.
Jordan, the best player of all time. Dominique down the list.
Who did Vince Carter go against in that dunk contest?
I believe it was Jason Richardson.
You don't even know. Jordan versus Dominique.
But I can tell you, I didn't know because he blew them out the water so far.
You don't even know. Then it's not a good dunk contest, and it's not the best performance in a dunk contest ever.
But
Jordan and Dominique went against each other, and it's still the best dunk contest ever.
Now we're talking two different things. I said the best single performance. You're talking about best dunk contest. What you're doing right now, so
Jordan, when he had the lean and the fucking foul line in the one dunk contest.
You're talking two separate things. What I'm saying is that Vince Carter had the single best performance by one player in a dunk contest. I don't give a damn. I don't care.
And Jordan did the lean and the free throw dunk in the same dunk contest.
Vince Carter would blow Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb, anybody else. He's the best competition dunker who was also an NBA All-Star to ever play basketball. He's not nearly as good as Michael Jordan, and Dominique was probably a better offensive player than Vince was, but in a competition, dunk competition, no player that it actually had NBA skill has ever been as good as Vince Carter, ever.
Okay. That's he's up there for sure. I wouldn't argue that. He's definitely up there.
And there wouldn't still be a dunk contest if it wasn't for what Jordan was doing.
Listen, Matt.
Part of the reason people say Jordan is the best player ever was because of the shit that he was doing in the dunk contest.
No one is saying that Jordan didn't pave the way for everybody that came after him. What I'm saying is that if that was Vince Carter instead of Dominique Wilkins in that dunk contest, Michael Jordan comes in second.
Too bad we don't have the stage perspective to say that the young kids don't even know who Michael Jordan is.
He would know. He would have taken Vince Carter. He would have taken my side on that.
He would say the young kids don't even know who Michael Jordan is.
Just to hate on Michael Jordan, he would have taken.
He would do it. He would do anything just to hate on Jordan. He would be like, "Oh, Dominique won that.
Take it on my side.
Dominique won that. They robbed him just because Nike was there."
The other competition, that skills competition, looks like a lot of fun to do. I don't ever need to watch it on TV again.
I think they really need to get rid of the dunk contest and do a straight one-on-one tournament. Put a bracket together. Here's 16 NBA players. They're all playing one-on-one, and then we're eventually going to get the fucking winner. Or even 4-8, whatever you got to do. But the dunk contest is stale. They've all done every single dunk we're ever going to see. There's no crazy-ass dunk that we haven't seen that somebody's going to come out with. And it's getting super stale. It's boring. The judges don't even like it. The fans don't like it. Nobody wants to see it. It's to the point now where everybody's more souped about the three-point contest, and that was always the redheaded stepchild that nobody even cared about.
Yo, three-point contest was legit this year. There was some drama in there. There were dudes hitting 9, 10, 11 shots in a row. Three-point contest was the best thing of the entire weekend. It has been that
without a doubt
in recent years. It has been since Steph came into prominence. Clay's won it. I don't think Dame Lillard's ever won the three-point contest. He should be in it. You texted me during the day with why isn't Dame in the three-point contest? I thought he had like an oblique strain or something.
Yeah, like why wouldn't he be in that? I don't understand.
I think Devin Booker pulled out late. He was supposed to be in it, and he pulled out late.
He had an injury. He was an injury scratch. But Dame played in the All-Star game the next day. Well, not even the next day. 2 hours later, he just didn't play. He just didn't shoot in the three-point contest. And LeBron played like 8 minutes in the All-Star game. He didn't want to be there to begin with, which was fine with me. I don't need to watch him, running up and down the court in the All-Star game anyway. But he only played like 8 or 9 minutes. He only played in the first, second quarter. Didn't play the second half at all. His team was up by a big margin, and he didn't want to play the All-Star game to begin with. But it is what it is. Three-point contest, agreed. The most exciting thing. They need to retool, remove, get rid of that the skills competition and the dunk contest. Either give them trampolines so that they can do fucking full, whatevers, or go ahead and disband that.
Do like a 9-foot rim.
Oh, dude, that might be too low.
They'll be like jumping up over it.
Yeah, man, these guys jump so high. Drop it like 6 inches might be enough. The other dunk though, that Anthony Simons did, where you put the ball at the top of the square. Dwight Howard did that. Granted, Dwight Howard's a foot taller than Anthony Simons, but there's no flair to it. You're right. The dunk contest has gotten stale.
Yeah, I'm all for the one-on-one. Get rid of the skills. Get rid of the dunk contest. Let's get a one-on-one shot going. And a three-point contest,
because then you'll be able to see them like talking shit and like really like getting into the handle and shit. The one-on-one would be sick.
Yeah, because the skill guys will just like lull you with their handle, and step back, boop.
As much as Dame Lillard gets butt hurt and doesn't want to go in the three-point contest, imagine somebody going at him one-on-one on live television with mics all around them.
Now, egos. That would be heated. That will go hard.
You want the one-on-one, or do you want an NBA Jam style 2-on-2 with dudes throwing
one-on-one, so you can just see them like, all right, who got the crazy handle? Who's going to cross them over? They'll be talking shit. They'll be pointing at spots on the floor like, okay, come here.
Can I put my money on KD right now?
Oh yeah, you got KD to talk. Yo, I'm gonna dribble right to left. pull up, fake it, go the other way, and then he just does it.
There's no one beating KD.
Like, which one he's going to walk into that room. He's going to say, which one of y'all boys got second place?
See, that would be awesome. That would be awesome to see.
There's nobody beating KD.
I could care less who some dude on Denver's bench like pulls off a sick dunk next year. Like, I don't care. I want to see who the best one-on-one player in the league is.
That guy Cassius Stanley. He's a Dookie, isn't he? Cassius Stanley.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I don't even think he was on like their big league roster. He was on the G League roster, and they brought him up just to go into the dunk contest.
That's so whack.
He's got like a 47-inch vert or something like that.
Yeah. The other reason the dunk contest lost all that luster is, I mean, guess we're saying it right there, that Dominique and Jordan were against each other. The stars used to dunk. Sean Kemp would be in the dunk contest. Kobe Bryant. Contest. And that all changed when LeBron never went in.
Exactly.
If LeBron had gone into the dunk contest 04, 05, 06, one of those years in there, the stars would continue to dunk. But since they all follow his lead, he didn't do it.
His ego wouldn't allow him to lose because he knew he was going to lose.
Well, he's too stiff. He never. I mean,
all he does is that like fucking tomahawk dunk from the side.
He's all power. He would have had a chance. He doesn't
do anything crazy.
He would have had a chance. If you can Google this, there's a dunk contest that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in 1981. It's terrible. Oh, it's so bad. He's like taking one step and dunking with two hands, and he did like this little hook thing over the top. That's the one that LeBron would have had a chance at winning. LeBron wasn't beating. LeBron wasn't beating any of the modern dunkers.
Did you notice LeBron in the All-Star game? He got that breakaway and did like the reverse behind the back, and then tried to play it off like, oh, like look what I just did.
He also missed the layup.
Like, yo, enter the dunk contest, brother. There's people from the G League in there.
Speaking of people that should be in the dunk contest, speak up for your boy, your Dookie. Why is he not in the dunk contest? Dude came to prominence on YouTube videos dunking on high schoolers. Why is he not in the dunk contest?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He should definitely be in it. He would be very exciting for the dunk contest because he has the power that LeBron has, but he also has hang time.
He could have came out in a Monstars jersey and dunked on that. Zion,
he should have came out in the Phoenix Suns gorilla costume and done like a couple dunks and then took the head off and been like, yeah, Zion, what's up?
Came out with the blindfold, with the Cedric Ceballos blindfold, one of the weaker winning dunks. Absolutely horrible. That dunk was so bad, they never even bring Ced Ceballos back to be one of the judges at one of the other ones right now. And there's also there's a lot of proof that he could actually see through it.
Dude, it's a piece of fabric. Take your T-shirt and tell me you can't see through. Come on.
He wasn't counting. He was like, no, I was counting steps. I knew how many steps I had.
He went up to the foul line and then he backed up and counted his steps and shit, then just took off and didn't even jump from the spot where he counted the step from.
I have one other suggestion.
How about D Brown doing the dab?
That was at least that had the Reebok pump in the beginning, gave it a little bit of flair to begin with, and then he came through with that. One other suggestion on the dunk contest that maybe could save it a little bit, that in the final, you get to try to block the other guy's dunk. So you're actually dunking on somebody. So you got to go up, you got to do something with flair. Poster. Yeah, you go. So if Anthony Simons had gone up to try to block Obi and Obi funked on him, and then he came the next time, even if he didn't kiss the rim, but he funked on Obi, I'd have gave him the championship game. So if bringing a shot blocker or bringing a retired Dikembe Mutombo to come in to block an
old shot blocker like a Rick Smits out of the crowd.
Just a volunteer to get posters.
Because you can't do a real NBA player. They get way too pissed.
Absolutely not. And since you said old center, I'm going to give you a little tiny piece of trivia. Your Utah Jazz had 3 All-Stars this year. They had Rudy Gobert, they had Mike Conley, and they had the Spider-Man was on there as well. The last time that they had 3 All-Stars was 1989. You know 2 of them right off the bat, John Stockton and Karl Malone. Who's your 3rd All-Star on the Jazz in 1989? I'll give you 3 seconds and I'll give you the answer.
Hornacek?
No. I'll give you
Mark Eaton.
There you go, sir. We're talking about big centers. Mark Eaton, also the last center to have a triple-double with blocks.
Wow.
Mark Eaton was dope.
Surprised by Dwight Howard or something hadn't done shit like that when he was younger. Wow.
Yeah. No, but back in the day, guys used to challenge.
10 blocks is hard.
Yeah, but back in the day when guys came to the rim, those guys challenged at the rim. Now they're trying to take charges. So Dwight Howard on shots that he maybe would have blocked 15, 20 years ago, he's taking a step outside of the circle and trying to take the charge. But
I'm talking about young Dwight, like Orlando Dwight.
Even still, they were already in the flop phase by the time that Dwight was around. Remember, Dwight only came in the league in like 08, 07, somewhere in that area.
LeBron's the one that brought the flop to the NBA. Steph Curry changed the NBA because everybody shoots threes now, and it's a smaller league. But LeBron changed the league because now everybody wants to flop and
everybody wants to play.
Anybody touches you or breathes on you, you have to act like you're a soccer player and fucking dive into the crowd and roll around like you got hurt.
Exactly.
And also because his decision, everybody wants to crew up. Nobody ever wants to win on their own because they can't, because you can't compete with guys crewing up.
No, yeah, you're playing fire with fire at that point. You'd be like, yeah, you can be the hard line guy, but you're going to end up exactly. You're going to end up as Dame Lillard in Portland your whole career. They'll love you in the city. They'll revere you all around the league, but you'll never have any hardware. You're never going to be partying for a championship, and you most certainly aren't going to be part of
what he needs.
Go ahead.
What he needs is guys to go there. He needs guys to just go to Portland and fucking be like, all right, I'm gonna go with Dame and win.
They've never been a free agent destination for whatever reason. for whatever reason, they've been decent for most of our lives. They were really good in the early '90s when Clyde was there. They were good for a while when Brandon Roy was there. They were good again with young LaMarcus Aldridge. They were good again with Dame Lillard. But they're not a spot where they're like Lincoln hot free agents too. So they have to draft well, or they've got. You know who their last free agent signing was? Enes Kanter. That's their last free agent signing. They don't get big names. They're going to Portland. From what I hear, it's a cool city. It's a cool state.
Drugs are legal. Legal.
Everything's legal.
Easy stat boy.
Everything's legal. You can get Nike gear from down the street. I mean, all the things are there for it to be, but nobody goes there to play. But you're right.
I will always say the Northwest United States is a great place to live and visit and stay. It's fucking beautiful out there. The scenery, the architecture, the houses, it's unbelievable.
I get why Dame stays there. He can get back home to Oakland really fast.
He's
They have been competitive and they put good teams around him. Terry Stotts is a good coach. He's got good running mate and CJ with him. Although there's a lot of rumors that they're looking at moving CJ.
When I was playing football, one of the recruiters said to us, "Do you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or do you want to be a small fish in a big pond?" Said a lot of you guys can go to a big school and you'll be the guy that nobody cares about, that none of the coaches, want to see do well. They're not going to try and game plan for you or plan for your future and get you in there. Or you could be the big fish in a small pond. You'll be the player that goes to a small school where the coaches love you there and everybody cares about you and everybody's worried about you and everybody's doing the best for you, for your well-being. So Damian Lillard, up there, he's the biggest fish in the small pond. Yeah,
he's the shit.
He's the guy up there. Everybody loves him. He can go anywhere in Portland. Everybody knows him. He'll never pay for a beer or a steak in Portland for the rest of his life. So
everything's legal. The other thing is too that he's still young enough where he can play a few more years in Portland, and if he does jump ship to another team to try to get a ring, he's not going to get much grief for it. So I
don't think he would at this point. He's gone on record.
To move him. Yeah, the team would have to move him.
He's gone on record enough times as being like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." Where I link up with some other dude in some other city. He's like, "I'm here, and this is where I'm going to win, and I'm doing it here." So I think with him saying that so many times, he would kind of cut off his nose to spite his face if he did end up going somewhere else.
But when he gets to his mid-30s, because Karl Malone did the same thing, and I hate talking about Karl Malone so much because I hate Karl Malone.
And Karl Malone still never won shit.
Karl Malone never won shit. He thought, him and Gary Payton thought that shit was sewn up when they went to the Lakers. Doc Payton got one the next year.
They went the year they lost. That's right.
Yep. Peyton went the next year to the Heat, and he ended up getting one there. But yeah, Karl Malone thought that shit was sewn up. But as my grandmother used to say, God don't like ugly. And Karl Malone, I fucking hate Karl Malone. If you look at his past, he's got one of the ugliest pasts ever. But just to rewind about 3 minutes there, Getz was talking about you could be the big fish in a small pond, or you could be the little fish in a big pond. We have a coach who was a big fish in a big pond, and then went and is still a big fish in a smaller pond, and just got relieved of his duties.
Are we talking about Les Miles?
We are talking about Les Miles. So go ahead, sir.
Breaking news.
The floor is yours, sir. Go ahead.
Yo, man. For any of you who don't know, this is breaking news story. Les Miles got relieved of his duties. They said it was a mutual parting of ways between him and the Kansas Jayhawks football program, who has won maybe 3 games in the last 17 years. So I don't think they're going to mutually part ways with a good football coach unless there's mitigating circumstances. All of a sudden, there's stories coming out of LSU where Les Miles was for years. Les Miles won a national championship, LSU. All of a sudden, there's stories coming out that he had inappropriate relations with underage females on campus. Supposedly, he was
underage. I didn't know that.
No, they were college age. They weren't like high school or holy school.
But still, like 17 is underage, dog.
I thought they were more than that.
I thought they were age. I thought they were college age, but he did have a condo off campus.
Either way, the dude was married, and he's the head football coach on campus.
Oh no,
he's not supposed to be messing with the girls.
No, we're with
on
you
the
there.
Campus.
But there's a difference in scumbag move and jail
there's
time.
There's a difference between.
So let's put it this way: there was no criminal allegations, there was no charges filed, but supposedly Les Miles, who was, I think he was trying to act as like a counselor, as like someone that these students could go to as a mentor and a father figure, and he's like trying to hook up with them, trying to get him out to the bars. They said the one girl, he had like an ongoing text conversation that leaned into inappropriate areas. Les Miles.
Why is the text message ongoing if it's not welcome? I don't know.
Whether it's welcome or not, it's still inappropriate on his end.
He's faculty at the university, so he's not supposed to be messing with
he's
any
also
students.
married.
For sure, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're knocking off the list of things. You're right. He's married. He's faculty, and what I heard, and I didn't corroborate this yet, but from that he had a condo very similar to the Dallas Cowboys' White House. He had a condo off campus in LSU where he would take students to party, and the school knew about it and covered it up.
Maybe that's why he always had good recruiting classes.
Money and girls. That's how you get.
It all kind of makes sense now because Les Miles, he had already won a title at LSU, and then they got into an era where he had players at every other position, but he couldn't get a quarterback, and they kept losing to Alabama. And it got to the point where they were talking about LSU maybe moving on, maybe moving to someone else. And Les Miles went to Michigan, played at Michigan. So there was always rumors like, oh, Michigan's going to try and go after Les Miles. Michigan's going to try and go after Les Miles. But they never did.
Nope.
Even when Harbaugh's contract was up, they re-upped with Harbaugh, and they never even made an offer to Les Miles. Now it all makes sense. Because even though we didn't hear about all this stuff, even though we didn't know what was going on, the people on the inside circle, the search groups, they all pay these, they do background checks. Yeah, they have private investigators. They have people that do, the coaching search before you even hear about it in, ESPN or the papers or whatever. They already have 5 or 6 candidates for the dudes that they're going to offer and go after. But they never offered Les Miles. When he got fired at LSU, he had to go to Kansas, who fucking lost like 12 games the year before he got there.
I always thought
to myself, like, why is this dude going to Kansas? This guy is a national championship winner at a huge program in a big conference, and that's the best job he can get? He can't go to Central Michigan. He can't go to Rutgers. This guy's going to Kansas?
The question with that is, did Kansas know?
I think somebody had to.
Now, Michigan knew already. Now, did Kansas kind of know and turn a blind eye because they can't get a coach of that caliber?
Absolutely. Because they had Charlie Weiss in there. They had Charlie Weiss in there before him, and he still went 0-13.
Well, Charlie Weiss was not a good college coach. You know that better than most.
I will attest to this.
Yeah. So if Les Miles was here right now, Les Miles would slap you not for saying he was banging underage chicks, but for saying that he was the same level coach as Charlie Weiss. He would throw hands. He would throw hands with you right now. Sure. But Kansas has to be liable in this in some way as well for, I don't know, child endangerment. I don't know if you can call that because they are college students, but they had to have known this.
If it comes out that he had stuff going on at Kansas, they're a major lawsuit.
There's I'd be shocked if there wasn't anything going on. If there was nothing going on, they wouldn't have fired him.
He couldn't get the same type of recruits at Kansas, so maybe he didn't go full bore.
Could be. If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. Remember?
full board.
Maybe once he didn't get the Michigan job, somebody in his corner was like, "Yo, dog, leave the high school girls alone."
College football coaching scandals are the best. You said Bohr.
Oh, yeah.
You said Bohr, which made me think
What
of
an idiot.
Which made me think of a Razorback.
I just want to fully, like, what a fucking moron this guy is. Yo, making millions, national championship winner, married, who knows? Good, good family. I've never seen his wife. I'm not going to comment, but who knows? And this guy's like trying to tag high school chicks on campus.
Well, a Bohr is another way to call a Razorback, right? And we're over an hour here, so we'll end it on this one here. But my favorite coaching scandal is former Falcons and former Louisville coach, Bobby Petrino. Biggest asshole
with the fucking neck brace. Just
Bobby
fell
Petrino,
off the motorcycle. Girl talking about, he told me he loved me.
He hired a secretary that did nothing. She had no day-to-day functions. She was literally there as his mistress.
But how much was she making? How much bread was she making?
She was getting paid.
What was it, like 70, 80 G's, right? And they said she never even came in the building.
Never even showed up in the building. But I'm guessing that woman was skilled. Anyway, we'll be out on that. I'll let you boys. Crackbacks. We'll see you next week.